Good morning, Erin Koss, CEO at Site Consulting Group here with you today. You know, we're rolling into fall and we're starting to think about what's on the docket for our larger projects in January. A lot of our clients start doing their ERP implementations after the first of the year. And one of the things that comes up in questions that we get asked are, how do you think about change management? And this has been such an interesting topic for us recently because we get this question a lot from solution providers that we are asking to, or that we're evaluating on behalf of our clients as they consider ERP solutions, etc. And one of the things we've been thinking about and we've been trying to communicate to our family-owned business leaders and wanted to share with you today is a way to think about change management that maybe is a little bit different than you've thought about it before. So you're taking on a large project and all the consultants are throwing at you, what about change management? What about change management? And it just feels like a big buzzword to me. And I just kind of want to break down what I think it really is, right? My go-to is to put together the methodical, structured approach and present it out and say, here it is, right? This is what it looks like. And there is a way to do that, right? And it certainly feels good for someone like me who's been in project management and, setting the process of how things are supposed to roll, for so many years. And yet, what change management is really about is about deep knowing and understanding and relationship between site, in our case, and our clients. And sometimes this also extends to the solution providers. And so what we find is change management is in our DNA. It comes from being really experienced in what we do. For us, that's ERP, it's process improvement, it's solution implementation type things, right? And it comes from that experience, but it also comes from a deep knowledge of our customers' business, of where they're at and where they're trying to go. And our job is to help them get there. And what change management looks like in that context can really vary, right? It can really vary based on what their needs are. Do you speed up? Do you slow down? Do you take a pivot? Do you take a turn? It's like a road map where you're going from the West Coast to the East Coast and the road's closed and you need to do something a little differently. All right, so I have to be honest, the background noise that you're hearing, and I'm just going to call it out like it is, come here, you, is this crazy thing, right? So this is our new puppy, Janie, who you probably heard me talk about in our last video. And she is wanting to get out of her kennel and play with her squeaky toy, which everyone says, don't get the dog a squeaky toy. And I did, so there it is. So we'll put her back for a minute and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, there you go. So change management. For site, it's embedded in our experience and our care, understanding, and knowledge about our clients, right? How does change management show up for you and the people that you work with, right? You're navigating something new, something different. It's great to have a process and an approach for managing change. And it's not the thing that's going to get you necessarily where you're really trying to go. It's a starting point, right? So the process and approach is a starting point, but it's the deep connection and relationship that will really get you there. Where does that show up for you in the work that you do with your customers, with your employees, and with others? I really encourage you to ask yourself that and maybe think about how managing change might be something different than you thought it was at the beginning. One last thing I'll say is the other element of managing change that we find is really important, two things. One is communication. Constant communication, right? When you're navigating twists and turns and doing things a little differently than maybe you expected to, that relationship and that trust is built on a lot of communication and consistent communication. Predictable, right? Reliable, predictable. The other is transparency. So if, saying what's true, even when it's hard, right? Clients and people don't like to hear, hey, we were going this way and now we're going this way, right? Not everybody likes to hear that change is hard. And so I think acknowledging that in our communications in a transparent way is really important as well. So let's see if I can summarize this thing, right? Got a little hijacked by the cute puppy. So change management, right? There's a structure and approach to it that's important. It gets you out of the gates. And at the end of the day, what's going to get us there is connection, relationship, and communication and transparency. Those things, right? It's knowing one another. It's knowing how to talk with one another. It's knowing how to be honest and open and transparent with one another as things shift and pivot. This is particularly important when we're doing a project that is high stress or taking us out of our day job, being added to our day job. It's extra work, so there's more stressors. So again, built on relationship, change management. Let's turn it on its head and think about it in a slightly different way, and have it have more meaning and more success in the end, and feel better to people when they reach that finish line, that they felt like they were cared for and listened to and part of the process. I hope you have a great day. Take care.